Hey guys, it's Rich with your Monday Spot on the Pagan Perspective. This week we're talking about from study to practice. This is another throwback topic that Cara has given to us to either review if we've already done this topic before on this channel or to do for the first time on this channel. So the topic reads, we've read the books and studied the basics. How do we go from purely studying a path to actually practicing it and living it day to day? So first off, before I get into this topic, things behind me, yeah, you're in my office and it's not really ready yet. So ignore all the crap going on behind me. And if you see me looking over here, I have like 5 pages worth of notes that I'm going to be referencing. So there's that. So anyway, this is a topic that I, like so many other people, I do struggle with it. Actually separating or incorporating my spiritual and mundane lives into one cohesive life, and going forward with it. It's something that can be, until it's actually put into practice and it's something that you do day to day, does not seem like one would go with the other. But once you start incorporating it in certain ways, it becomes second nature and it becomes a part of your daily life. If I can talk, that would be fantastic. So obviously on any of these suggestions that I give, your mileage may vary because of the practice that you do, the tradition that you follow, the pantheons that you subscribe to, or the deities that you work with. All of that's going to vary, your outcomes. So anyway, the first one that I have is what I call the touchstone. And this is simply having an item or place that you go to every day. This idea really sank in whenever I was watching Arwen by Tarot by Arwen. If you guys are not watching Tarot by Arwen, go and subscribe to her channel. She has a lot of interview videos, and in one of her interview videos, and I can't remember which one to be honest, she says something to the effects, and this is not a quote, this is a paraphrase, that Catholics really have it down pat whenever it comes to living their spiritual life. And they go into the church and they take the holy water, they boop, 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 they go in there, they pray, and that is their spiritual touchstone. But with pagans, we don't really have that. You have to have, like, your altar that you go to, or you have to have something that you ritually do every day, even if it's something little. This can be things such as, and I'm looking at my list here, they can be small things, they can be large things, they can be things such as a meditative practice, which I highly suggest, and that doesn't matter on what your practice is. I think a meditation practice is very it makes you very in tune with yourself and the things around you, the energies around you, the spirits around you, all that stuff. So I think a meditative practice, if you're not already doing one, is deeply impactful. What else do I have here? This can be done in the morning and in the afternoon, evening, doesn't matter. A walk after dinner, or a walk before breakfast, or just taking a walk in general and clearing your mind, that can be something that actually helps you connect with nature, helps you connect with your thoughts, your feelings, all that stuff. The lighting of a candle or a burning of an incense. And then there's one thing that I do every night, or just about every night, and it's a nightly meditation where I take my mala beads and I go to bed. I have my familiar jelly with me. She lays down on my lap and all that. And we spend time with one another, as well as time meditating. This can be reflecting on the day, reflecting on what I want to come into fruition. These can be things of just pondering a spiritual thought that I was thinking about earlier that day, or one that just pops into my mind all of the sudden. These can be different things that come into your mind or go out of your mind. It can be a time of relaxing, and it helps you actually fall asleep as well, because I know I've gotten into those deep meditative states where you're almost asleep and you just ride that out for a little bit and then you fall asleep and then you wake up so rested. So having that touchstone, that one thing that you do every day, or it doesn't even have to be every single day, but on a more regular basis than not, you guys get the drift. So that is one thing that I'd like to give as a suggestion, and this can be as elaborate or as little as you want. The next one that I'd like to talk about is what I call spiritual weaving. This is whenever you have a touchstone, or you have, that little thing that you do every single day, that touchstone aspect in your life, but you want a little bit more. This is what I call spiritual weaving. This is where you weave in and out your spiritual life with your mundane life. If you don't have your main job as a spiritual practitioner, but you do something such as, like with me, I deal in antiques and collectibles. I look for things that help me in my spiritual practice. This can be anything from candles. I find a lot of candles. I will never have to buy for another candle ever again, I don't think. Unless it's something special. And yeah, I really want it. So for me, it can be something like finding candles, or finding my mortar and pestle that I use, that I love so much. It's huge. I have to do a video on it, and I said I was going to do a video this past weekend and I didn't get to it anyway. But looking for antiques and collectibles that help me in my spiritual practice, I love finding those little things. I have a set of bells that I found whenever I went to an auction. I was bidding on it at an auction. The mortar and pestle that I found at an auction. These are things that have been used and loved before, and I incorporate them into my practice and use them and love them today. So that's something that you can do in your life too. And it doesn't have to be buying something. It can be doing something such as a crystal grid on your desk. If you have a desk that you work at on a daily basis, you can have a crystal grid or a bowl of crystals or something like that that connects you with your spiritual life. Whenever you have a moment at your desk, you can take out a crystal and you can meditate on it and then put it back and continue on your day. If you're a cook or a chef, you can imbue the food that you are preparing for others. You can imbue that with positive energy, wishing and hoping the best for somebody, hoping that or putting that energy in the food, that the food will nourish their body, or something to that effect. There's so many different things that you can do whenever you're working in a type of service industry, especially if you're coming into contact with customers on a daily basis. If you're coming into customers on a daily basis, say you're a host or a hostess, or you are at a front desk of some sort of company or business or whatnot. If you're at the front desk and you're constantly meeting people, you are the first person that these people see, and you can, give out that positive energy that a lot of people, that might be the only positive energy they get all day is from you. So definitely some things that you can do to incorporate your spiritual life into your mundane work. So that's one thing that I like to do. And the third tip I'm going to give you guys is what I call getting down and dirty. This is whenever you really need to practice your practice. If you're a magical practitioner, this is the instance where you need to do your work, where you need to do your spell work, or you need to, if you're studying conjure, this is the time whenever you're actually doing your workings, and you're taking that time every day to feed your workings. I'm currently reading a book, and I don't have it next to me right now, but it is Old Style Conjure by, if I could remember, son of a gun. Anyway, it's called Old Style Conjure. I do suggest it. I'm about a little over halfway through it, and I'm absolutely loving it. I'm getting more into conjure type of work, and in that I've noticed that contrast to other practices where, a spell might be one and done. If it does work, then it's meant to be. If it doesn't work, then it wasn't meant to be, that type of thing. But in Conjure, I see that you constantly feed your work until you get the desired results. And that's how my understanding is of it, by reading just this one book. So, if you're a practicing conjure worker, a root worker, don't bite my head off, but please do correct me if I am incorrect in saying that. But in both instances, I see that, you have to, at some point, do the work. And this doesn't have to be something big and profound. It doesn't have to be huge. It can be small and mundane. It's like exercise, but fun. A book that recently came out is called Glamour Magic, and it's by Deborah Costello. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. I haven't gotten a chance to read this yet, but there was an interview with Devin Hunter on the Modern Witch podcast. If you're not listening to that, I do suggest it. And Deborah mentions that sometimes you need to, and I'm just paraphrasing this, that sometimes you need to just do something fun with your magic. You don't need to always be doing, something serious. Sometimes something frivolous is exactly what needs to be done. So it's a way of exercising your ability. It's a way of making yourself feel better, and it's, it just strengthens your ability, strengthens your connection, and makes you find out what does and does not work for you. In the end, it'll make you a better witch. So in that aspect, the act of constantly doing or constantly working a spell, or even doing frivolous spells, even if it's something like glamour magic or something like that, in the end, it's beneficial, because it is strengthening you. So it's better than sitting around getting rusty. So in that instance, I say witch away. And I think that's all that I have for this week. I think we have another topic next week, and then it's subs week after that. So I will see you guys next week. I'm going to try to do a video for my personal channel sometime this week and get it out. But yeah, things have just been a little crazy. So with that, I wish you all the best. And until next time, may you have love, hugs, and ladybugs. Bye-bye.